Hey, welcome back to the Fanboy Cantina. This is our special a day early St. Patrick's Day episode. How are you doing, Mr. C?
I'm feeling good. We don't want to compete with actual true St. Patrick's Day events. So here we are coming early, to check us out now and then carry on with the junk junkyard with the hello question mark. Good to see you, junkyard. Welcome aboard. Where was I going? Yeah. So, some people have live events to be at tomorrow. Some people are going to be looking at Dropkick Murphys on YouTube. So, we can't compete with the top tier stuff like that. So here we are now. How are you
I
doing, sir?
I'm all right. I'm all right. I appreciate you wearing the all green. I don't have a whole lot of green in my wardrobe, so I went with this kind of military sweater action thing. Best I could come up with. I'm more impressed by your ensemble.
Well, actually, I just picked this tie up, and I don't know how. Maybe I can. Anyway, it's like one of my dad's ties from 1967. It's got some
Nice.
paisley on it. It's got some texture to it. So gotta, do that stuff to honor the guys that came before us.
Very nice, very nice. That no, that's an awesome way to do it. So, in this episode, what are we talking about, Mr. C?
Well, there's so much to cover.
Uh-huh.
We thought we'd do a little mixed bag kind of a thing here. We got some St. Patrick's Day fare, maybe some toy stuff that fits for the younger set, and then I thought we'd take a little tour down the comic way and take a look at some comic related, Irish related comic book business stuff.
That sounds like an awesome approach. So where should we get started?
Well, let's even jump in here with a little 3D stylized action. We got some boxing leprechauns, and if
Uh-huh.
you can see that their eyes light up, so that's a really,
That's
to me, that's a top feature. But anyway, these guys are pretty good. They got good reach. They're mixing it up. Maybe they were inspired by the boxing nun. I can't say that for sure, but kind of fun just to monkey around with them for just a little bit.
they look kind of scary. Was one of them green? Like green? I know they're
You
both
mean
wearing
green
green.
in the complexion?
Yeah. No, they're the
I would
same.
say
They're the same.
lightly green, but
Okay.
again, the
Okay.
light up eyes, the
Uh-huh.
light up eyes is really where it's at for me.
Yes.
That's you see the stuff in the store and you're like, should I get this or should I not get this? And then you test drive them. Then the eyes light up. It's going in the
Instant
shopping cart.
sale.
It's going in the basket. Hey, you took my dollar. You got me.
Nice. What else do we? What
Well,
other
what other
what other accoutrement do we have for this day before holiday action?
Well, speaking of stuff that found its way into the cart,
Yeah.
let's jump to this guy that I got back here.
Whoa.
So I really like to
Let's
here. Let
go
me
to the
get him a
one
little
shot
bit
here. Well, let's go to the
more.
one shot.
All right, let's watch it. So here's a little St. Patrick guy, and I picked him up at the Irish Center some time back. But what I really like to do to display him is
Whoa.
get a flashlight under him because then he's got. Let me get his little hat back in there. He's got some nice luminescence to him.
Right.
So I dig that, dude. And then you can see in the foreground here, we have some parade looking characters. So these would be a Fisher Price Little People series that the very art director of this very channel,
Uh-huh.
Mr. Itahara, long ago, uh, sent these over to the house here. And so they've been part of the St. Patrick's Day tradition and routine ever since. So as you have a typical parade kind of a leprechaun costume here. I think this guy's the Grand Marshal because he's got kind of the sash on him and a shillelagh. I don't think Fisher Price is currently got these in production. So if somebody were interested in this, it might be more of an eBay or more of a
Right.
Macari kind of a circumstance. You got these two lovely little people ladies here with their shamrock bouquets, bells of the ball and all that. Maybe they are co-queens of the float of the parade, that kind of a business. And they come with both of these. You got here the lemonade stand and the cookie stand. Let me
Oh
bring
boy.
them up a bit.
Because St. Patrick's Day is all about the lemonade.
Oh, absolutely,
Uh,
absolutely.
all right. Sure.
And because
I'll
it's
go with that.
because it's green green lemonade.
Right.
And then,
Okay.
little,
Green lemonade.
little, not limeade, but green lemonade. Exactly.
You got to break in the kids early, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, you got to warm them up to the green beer through the wonders of green.
They Fisher Price didn't want to go with for little people generation the green beer.
Okay.
And then there were 2 generations of the train car. So I'm going to turn it on here, and then let's simulate the St. Patrick's Day parade, which is such a staple of Chicago and some other cities.
Whoa!
And there you go. So,
hey, that's all right.
As we can see, you got some moving parts here that go with the song. And yeah, it's got some energy to it, that song. So let me go back to the off switch over here.
Oh, and Junkyard, yes, thank you for the shout out on the sweater. That is exactly why I got this one. I think I bought it because in Justice League, Jeremy Irons has a sweater just like this one.
Well, that's as good a reason to buy a sweater as any.
Because everybody wants to dress.
We're going to recognize Jeremy Irons. We're going to recognize some sort of greenery. It all comes together in the cantina.
That's right.
All right,
you can use your little people to reenact that scene from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. You could get there's
the twist and shout.
Twist and shout. There's got to be a little people, which seems kind of offensive actually as an expression, but there must be a little people version of the Ferris Bueller's character.
I'll do some research on that.
Maybe,
again, sometimes you got to come back from one episode to the next to settle up on that stuff.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Okay.
All right. So just here's the second edition of the train, a little bit smaller, and then from this spot right here is where the music activates as opposed to rolling it along. So there we go. Nice to have some kid friendly St. Patrick's Day business going on. So if we're ready, we can transition to, now that we've done, sometimes this channel has a little bit of toy related business. Sometimes this channel has a little bit of pop culture review business. If we're ready, we can move into
there you go.
Checking out some
which character is this, Mr.
Okay,
C?
well, this is Shamrock, who had her first appearance in Contest of the Champions, issue 1. Let me come back out of there and bring before us here. Good old Contest of the Champions, another early 80s release. So this is a pre-Secret Wars story in which a bunch of different heroes were pulled, and so a bunch of different heroes were created just for this book here. Sometimes we remember, sometimes we forget. Oh, of course, they wouldn't have the credits, just the splash page up there. But I know it's John Romita Jr. on the pencils, and we got a whole bunch of writers over here. A little Bill Mantelo, a little Mark Grunwald, little bit of the team there. And so here is again, as we just saw her there. The Shamrock character is being kind of suspicious of Captain Britain. She's being kind of suspicious of her. So that was involved in the story. And then if we can look a little bit further up the way here, then she was selected to the team with Iron Man and Vanguard and Iron Fist and Storm and Angel and a bunch of other heroes there. So it ended up that there's the old cover for good old Contest of the Champions #1. So here she is. Then she was on a sub team with Storm and the Collective Man. I don't think he found his way. Since we'll take a mini divergence here, we were looking at some lists of some Irish heroes, and then maybe the subcategory would be Irish American heroes. So Matt Murdock, Murdock is about as Irish as name as you can get. Right there within the same 3-issue series of Contest of the Champions, you have Matt Murdock, the Irish American Daredevil, squaring off against Iron Fist. And I like the battle sequence here because he figures he's going to throw snow in Iron Fist's face. I like the way they handled the choreography there. Now back to Shamrock. So here she is set against Captain America, and they were supposed to find these little quarter spheres in their various challenges. So there she did. Her powers include changing the outcome of things, or she gets the luck of the Irish. So there she is, out lucking Captain America. Now let's use that to a bridge. Until we started the prep for the show, I had no idea Captain America was Irish American. So, hey, pretty cool.
Oh,
Ferris,
I am corrected. I am corrected. Ferris crashed the Von Steuben Day parade, not St. Pat's. And was that Captain Britain checking? Yes. It seemed a little, that was my reaction. It seemed, yeah, well. You know,
maybe
they didn't
someday,
hold
if we
back.
catch him at a convention or maybe through social media, we can ask little John Romita Jr. Was that his intention as he put those pencils to that page?
Yeah. No, so let me ask you. Yeah, I do like, so somewhere around here, I've got the Marvel Universe 3-pack that has Captain America, the Red Guardian, and Captain Britain in it. There's also, well, actually, I don't know. I don't think there are other Marvel Legends figures that have, or Marvel Universe figures that have, the country so distinctly represented. I don't think there's been a Shamrock action figure. Knowing this luck of the Irish thing, how does that land for you? Is it like okay, or is it kind of
going back to 1982?
uh-huh?
And so I figure we're 11 years old at the time.
Yeah.
Look at that. She outmaneuvered Captain America. So, I mean, luck of the Irish. I know you said, is this a problematic thing? Is it not a problematic thing? Luck of the Irish in itself, for me, doesn't strike me as problematic, but I'm going to make a comparison to the DC Comics, well, now DC Comics hero of Uncle Sam, who Uncle Sam was the spirit of America. And so so soldiers or what have you, people who had died in battle in the past. So then it was like a ghostly kind of a thing. So the way they explained her, how did she have these powers of luck? So poltergeists or ghosts would be, hanging around her, and then they would, use their poltergeisty spiritual ways to influence outcomes of things. So the luck of the Irish in itself, I'm good with it. Just then we're taking an upbeat, happy-go-lucky. Oh, luck of the Irish! I'm gonna win the day.
Sure.
Say again.
No, sure. Yeah. It's fine. But
but then we put the
ghost.
poltergeisty element in, and that's then we're just switching from action adventure to the pinch of horror in the elements of the thing.
Right. Okay.
All right, let's see what else we got. So, and again, as we're doing business here with art director of the channel, he had located a list through the internet, the real Stan Lee through the real Stan Lee website. So they listed 5 characters there, and I wasn't necessarily in agreement with the order. I think maybe it would have been okay to split Irish American characters. You put your Daredevil and your Captain America maybe on one list, and your Irish born characters on another list. So Shamrock would have made the Irish born character list. Again, there's just a little bit of how she put the move. Oh, see, let me jump back. So, here's a Python. Is the Python going to go after her? Nope. Luck of the Irish. Python goes after good old Captain America instead.
So kind of like Domino, in a way.
In a kind of sort of way.
Kind of sort of way.
So every hero needs a corresponding villain. Sometimes, you need that villain right there in your family. Sometimes you have a hero that bridges the pages into the cartoon and into the movie world. So I thought I'd start over here as Black Tom Cassidy, who in the cartoon was billed as the brother of, but in the comics is billed as the cousin of an Irish hero. Here he is, Sean Cassidy Banshee, in this shot from the '90s X-Men cartoon. He's catching Professor X. So curious, his powers were supposed to replicate the Irish folklore, the supernatural character of a Banshee. So now that I think about it, I'm just thinking about this right now. If Banshee's got some tie to ghostly powers, but only in name, but then Shamrock has some tie to ghostliness in the practice of her powers. So I guess that gives him a little bit of similarity in some kind of a way. Okay, jumping back to Shamrock. Pictures are a little out of sequence, but that's okay. So yeah, she was one of the prize collectors over there. Back to Banshee, who I'm claiming on my list is the number one, the top Irish superhero of all superheroes. So just a couple more shots in his, not his debut, but in his debut with the new X-Men in issue 94. He got paired up with Wolverine to go, on their mission to try to rescue the original X-Men who were trapped on the island at the time. So plenty of wisecracks and plenty of mean shots back and forth between good old Banshee and Wolverine. Here we go.
And there's this comment. I thought I said Captain Britain. If I said Captain Canada, my mistake. I don't think there is a Captain Canada, but there is
you got your Vindicator Guardian running Alpha Flight when he wasn't being obliterated. You got your Major Maple Leaf, which was a joke, which was then given his own character,
Really?
And you got your Captain Canuck, which was outside of Marvel. But yeah, I don't think I could be missing it, but I didn't know of a Now there you go, right? Banshee number one. Camera one, zoom in on the Banshee. Yeah. And it's just there he is. There is Captain Canada.
Okay.
Okay. We'll have to figure out what's the corresponding holiday to recognize Canada. Maybe Canada Independence Day or something.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll run a feature on Captain Canada. But until such time as that, just here was another shot of Banshee coming out with the X-Men, trying to put a stop to his cousin Black Tom, who had partnered with the Juggernaut, the brother of Professor Xavier. And yeah, there he is. Look, I talk about costume design. So the yellow and the red, I mean, it's a very much a period piece of the late 60s that got some vibrant color set to it right there. And if I can go right over here and come back over here, I want to show this. So talk about early, not early, mid to late 60s. So here's X-Men 28, the Wail of the Banshee. And I just wanted to do a couple, again, quick shots out of here. So the splash page greatly resembles the cover, no question. So Stan Lee on the edits, Roy Thomas, who he had just mentioned in the previous episode of the comic creator cards. So there you got some Roy Thomas. And Werner Roth on arts, Dick Ayers on inks. So here's Banshee at the time, was originally cast as a villain. And I was just like, and so the first thing he tries to steal is a painting. And then his partner in crime was known as the Ogre. And Ogre was kind of sweating him and giving him a tough time. And here's some other actual X-Men pages. So what does Banshee decide he's going to do? Well, he's not just going to hang around and let Ogre tell him what's what. He's smoking his pipe. So he's got to go out and get some fresh tobacco. Don't worry about that they're trying to sneak around and do a big mission against the X-Men or what have you. But just, he wasn't going to let Ogre tell him what's what. He was going to go get his. And so using his sonic blasting powers right there, shreds right through that gate. And that man was going to have his tobacco to put in his pipe. And that's the way he did it. So this was, again, this is the very first appearance of Banshee. So I wanted to give that a little highlight. To me, he's the number one top of all Irish heroes in the comic format, for regardless of company, regardless of this, regardless of that. His daughter Siren was also getting some recognition on the lists. So I guess they would also get top superhero family.
Yeah, and there's a shout out. Yeah, that is an awesome issue to have.
one of you might have been with me when I picked the thing up back in the time. Maybe, maybe not. Can't remember across the years. That might have been a Larry's Comics pickup. It might have been an Everybody's Comic Shop pickup. Can't say for sure. Could have even been somewhere else. There's Siren now.
There's Siren.
And so her powers were identical to her dad's. They had a sonic scream. So you could even make the case that it's a derivative character for Black Canary, who I'm pretty sure chronologically had a canary cry, a sonic blast before Banshee came around and before Siren was realized and developed as a character.
No, that's awesome. Now, I like what you selected superheroes that are both Irish and Irish American in that list. That's awesome. I only had one thing to share, which I didn't realize until we started talking about this yesterday, which is that Steve Rogers, Captain America, is the son of Irish American immigrants. And he's made this point before in the comics, although, again, I did not know this previously. So it's a fascinating dimension to the Captain America character and how he's able to bring those, that dimension of himself into how he views the world. And
that is a great visual right there. Do we know what the source was, or do we just do some general searching around for?
I think there's I think it's a more recent set of comics where that particular panel came up. I'll have to come back to you on that one. But I think it's very cool. I think it's very cool.
I gotta say, I spent from Where's My Mego Captain America shield that we showed last time, from relatively around the time we first met, which was in the mid 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Never did I consider what was the ethnic background of Captain America before he was a Brooklyn kid. So gotta say, little bit happy, a little bit proud, a little bit pleased, a little bit good to know that good old Captain America had some Irish background to him.
There you go. I was struggling with, was in any other franchise, how might Ireland come up? And or at least in the MCU, how might it come up? And just searching around, it doesn't really. It appears in some Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I think, episodes. It appears briefly in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but otherwise it hasn't really received that much attention. Within the Star Wars universe, which is a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, Ireland has actually been used in its production in where it's the island of Octo, where Luke Skywalker is a hermit, and so that's actually Skellig Michael, which I would love to see someday. Seems.
I gotta say, recalling the movie, which again is already a few years back, and that's a surprise enough in itself that movie is a few years back.
Right.
But I was thinking it definitely had an Irish island look to it, and maybe again, as I didn't know Captain America was Irish American until just now, maybe given another rewatch of the movie, I'd find something else to appreciate about it based on the filming location, shooting location.
Yeah. So I'm going to celebrate St. Patrick's Day most likely by scrambling to find potatoes and cabbage. I do have a corned beef here that I need to deal with. I don't know about you, but I typically screw it up. I've screwed it up the past 3 years.
Again, sometimes you gotta confess to my ignorance on here, and sometimes I gotta confess to maybe not the biggest fan of the corned beef and the cabbage.
Yeah.
Hey, you like what you like. You don't like what you don't like. Some people might like a Greek salad without an olive and without a feta cheese. I might be one of those some peoples.
Oh my goodness.
There's lots of ways to celebrate a thing. I want to say it was funny in the pre-production meeting, again, for the art director pitching some concepts here that we could have had some Cabbage Patch Kid and Mr. Potato Head. That would have been a totally different kind of a show. Maybe it would have been a little bit, more entertaining than what we put together, or maybe not. It's a letter never sent. It's an unshot, lost footage kind of a thing. We didn't sit around and eat Lucky Charms here.
Yes,
but
thank you for not having us do that. Yeah, which was actually one of the topics. You could have been watching a 2-hour live stream of us eating Lucky Charms.
a lot of close-ups for that one. That would have been the jam.
Yeah, that would have been great. I do plan to watch Belfast in the next couple of weeks. I know that's a very serious autobiographical film taking place in Northern Ireland. So I think if I can get to it tomorrow, in addition to figuring out my potatoes and my cabbage, I hope to watch Belfast tomorrow as part of my St. Patrick's Day. I guess it's not quite a celebration because that's probably very solemn.
A solemn celebration, if you will.
Yeah.
I can see that I might get to that in the near future. I was again on the mid-ground fare. I'll say on the serious academic side and not pop culture side. Or anyway, there was I can't even. Anyway, the wife and me were looking at a documentary on a few different installments of Irish castles, and then just the castle architecture was pretty amazing. But when they were tying it into, again, exposed for my ignorance, tying it into this battle and that battle at this time in history and that time in history, I was in over my head pretty quick without knowing those key elements of history. So again, I call upon myself to get more homework done in the near future.
But I think that's good. I mean, kind of in part why we're doing this. Like on one level, on a superficial level, St. Patrick's Day is kind of dismissed as time to drink green beer and dump dye into the Chicago River and be done with it. And it's a nice moment to take a look into Irish culture and how the Irish and the Irish American public has been represented in pop culture. So this is cool.
All right, pal. Well, thanks to everybody who either checked us out right here on the day before St. Patrick's Day, or thanks to everybody who may check us out at whatever point in the digital future. Again, the Fanboy Cantina, we appreciate the views and the comments. If anybody wants to drop in the comments, like what's your St. Patrick's Day jam, or how do you like to acknowledge your own culture or your own influences, or what's a fun thing for you to do for St. Patrick's Day? Feel free to put any of that kind of commentary into the comments. We appreciate the views, and back to you, pal.
I'm going to dump some green dye into the puddle outside. See how that works out.
Can you shoot some footage on that, and then we can maybe put it in?
What's that food coloring stuff? So I might have to go to the store along with my cabbage and my.
I'm liking that.
Liking that. My cabbage, my potatoes, and my green food dye. All right, I think let's wrap it up. All right, thank you so much for watching. Hit the like and subscribe if you would be so kind. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Be safe. Be smart. Do drink the green beer in moderation. Take care. Over and out.